I love practicing the law. I was a scientist by education and worked in the scientific community both as a chemist and chemical engineer. And I was inspired to try to combine both technology or medicine and science and the law. And what has evolved for me is a practice that's dedicated to cases where there's complex physical injuries, where medical issues or medical products or medicine, pharmaceuticals are involved. So I used to represent doctors in hospitals, but now, since joining the Cochran firm for over 15 years, I've dedicated my practice to actually suing doctors in hospitals for medical malpractice. And think about it this way, this is really important to understand. When an accident happens on a street, we have an independent body, the police, who come in and investigate the accident and make recommendations as to who may or may not be at fault. When you get injured in a hospital, there's no independent body coming in to make an assessment as to which doctor did what, who was at fault, and who was not. And in fact, you're still being treated by the hands of people who have injured you, which sets up a very difficult relationship between doctor and patient. And what we do and what we act as are investigators to determine who is at fault and why, and advocating for the patient, because unlike an accident in the street, when you're hurt at the hospital, there's no one advocating on your behalf to determine which people that you trusted breached that trust and malpracticed on you. So with my scientific background, I take that and use that to further the investigation into what went wrong. And you really have to understand the medicine and the science to effectively determine what happened, and also explaining that to the jury. If you don't understand the science and the medicine yourself, you can't explain it to the jury. And what I do in trials is I tell the jury, I will educate you on the science and the verdict will follow. And that has happened in a lot of cases where I use my scientific and technical background to gain credibility and insight with the experts and the jury to help lead them to a verdict in favor of my client.